Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in our last video, we have discussed about some time intelligence function on the Power BI using DAX measures, right? So on this video, on our previous video, we have learned about a calculate function for the same function like used as we will use to compare the previous year, like we will use the function named same period last year function, okay? So this is the table, oh sorry, this is the column that we have created in our previous video. So this sales difference between the last year. So we have used the same period last year function as you can see in this like yeah, here you're going to be able to see this, like we have used the same period last year function for creating this particular column, and we have used this calculate function for creating this DAX measure. Okay, so in this video let's have some deep look about this time intelligence in the DAX measures. Okay, so in this video, like we are going to explore, like in our last video, we just have created a measure for the last year data. Like if we are going to compare the sales for January with the previous year sales, we can able to use this same period last year function. But what if, like if we are going to compare the data like 2 years before, like we can't able to use this same period last year function again, right? So instead of that, that's some more advanced function named as date add function in this DAX measure. So we can able to use this date add function and we can able to create our own interval times. So based on like whether we need to view this compare the sales for the last 2 years or for the future 2 years, like we can able to compare these data. Okay, so for this, like yeah, let's go on with this different function, because if you are going to create any report for your friends or for your organization, so based on this time intelligence function, you need to prepare with this all kind of advanced intelligence functions like data functions or for the same period last year function. All these functions are comes under this advanced level of this time intelligence. Okay, so yeah, so here we are going to create a new measure. So in this measure we are going to create our we are going to provide our own interval time based on this future date, or it may be our past years. Okay, so let me just go for this measure, and let me just go for the more options here, or you can directly click this measure table and you can go for the new measure here again. Okay, so let me just go for the new measure here again. Let me just expand this and zoom this. Okay, so here we can able to rename this. So I'm going to rename this as total sales. So if I enter the last year, so it will be the same for the previous video which we have done and which we have created like a last year function here. Okay, so let me just rename it as the total sales intervals. Okay, so based on the intervals, like we are going to uh, create a separate column for this. Okay, so for this function, we can able to create the same formula which we have used in the previous videos, right? So let me just go for this calculate function again. Let me just click this tab, and under this calculate, we need to import our expression first, and then we can able to import our filters. Okay, so for this expression, like we done before, I'm going to import the total sales here, total sales measure, comma, and then for the filters, like if we use the same filter which we have used for the previous video or for the previous column, like which we have done, right? So if I'm going to use the same period last year function again, so it will show the data for the previous year, right? So I don't want this. I didn't want to compare the data for the previous year. I need to compare this for the 2 years back or for the 2 years above the sales which I am going to compare it with. Okay, so for this, like I said before, I'm going on with this new function named as date add function. So under this date add, you can able to see we need to mention the dates and the number of intervals and the interval. Okay, so dates is nothing but like we are going to import the data for the dates like which we have created already under the dates table, right? So under the dates table we have date, a month name and year name. So I'm going to just import the date column because it has some hierarchy for this. Okay, so let me just type this dates, like date column under the dates table. Okay, and then comma, and then we are going to mention the number of intervals. So number of intervals is like whether you need to go for the previous years or whether you need to go for the above years. Like if you need to compare the sales for the future years, you can also go for the positive values, or if you are going to compare for the previous years, you need to go for the negative value. Okay, so let me just go on with this -1 and let me check whether this formula is working. Like we can able to verify this because we have previously done for the same period last year function, right? So we can able to compare this formula column with the formula column which we have created before. Okay, so let me just go on with this number of interval as -1, and then if you click on the comma, it will be directly turned on this for the intervals, right? So for the intervals you can able to view this date, month, quarter, and year. Like how we can able to view this for, okay, because we have turned our time intelligence function for the options like in our previous video, right? So that only we can able to view our time intelligence function in our DAX measure. Okay, so if you have no idea about this time intelligence function, and if you can't able to view this like date, month, quarter here, so it is nothing but you don't have turned on any hierarchy for your dates table. Okay, so you can go and watch my previous video, and then you can able to get an idea about why we are using this date hierarchy for this time intelligence. Okay, so we have already created our time intelligence here, we have turned that on, so then we can able to view our date hierarchy here. So we are able to view this day, month, quarter, and here. So at first let's have a view on the year. Like let's compare our sales based on the year, so then we can able to view this based on the month or based on the quarter or based on the day. Okay, so let me just go for the year here, and then I'm going to close the bracket for all this. Okay, and then let's click on enter here. Okay, okay, so our data has been loaded here, new method has been created here. So let me just click on this table and let me import this by dragging like this, or else you can directly click on this checkbox, or else you can drag and drop in this column box. Okay, so we need to format this, so I'm just going to click on this new measure, and then I'm going to change it as a dollars as a currency. And then here you can see our new column has been created for the total sales interval, which we have created new measure DAX function for that using our date add function, right? So this is a column that we have created in our previous video based on the same period last year function. Okay, and this is a column that we have created by using our new formula of a new function named as data function. So here you can able to view the data like this, both these data are same, right? So for the same period last year function, we have the January data like 944 $532, and we have a comparison data for the previous year. So we have entered the time interval like a number of interval as -1, so then we can able to view the previous year data here. Okay, so I think these two are similar for all these data, these two are similar. Okay, so I think this formula is working here. Okay, so this is how you can able to use this date add function. Okay, let me just go on with this number of intervals. Let me go and play on with this -2 here. Okay, and let me just click on enter here. Okay, so now we have entered the interval of -2, so then we can able to view the like a 2 years back data for this. Okay, so yeah, let me just go on. So here you can able to see the empty tables here because we don't have any data for the 2020 to compare the data for the 2018 here, because we have entered a number of interval as -2. This 2020 data will be compared to the 2018 data. We don't have enough data for this, so let me go down and you can able to see here. So for the 2022 January, we have entered our time interval of -2, right? So it will be compared with the 2020 January data. And let me go for the top, and you can see the 2020 January data as 10/24/700, and here you can able to see the same. And this is for all the months which has been mentioned here. Okay, so if you have not enough data, you will able to see the empty spaces here. Okay, so this is just a kind of practice Excel data. So if you need to practice with more number of data, and if you need to go for the number of interval as -3 or -4, or if you need to go for the not for the year, not only for the year, if you are going to view the data for the months or for the quarter or for the day, each by each day, you can also go with the Excel data which has been created by your own. So if you are going to study something, you need to create like own data, and then you have to study this on your report. So then it will be very easy for you to understand because that Excel data has been created by your own. Okay. So if you don't have any enough time for creating this Excel data, you can directly go and browse on the online and you will get some more data on the Excel. Or if you don't have any enough data, or if you don't get any data from the online, you can comment below, so then I can able to prepare a separate data for you guys, and then I will upload in our channel website. Okay. So then, or else like you can use this sample data which is available on the Microsoft, right? So when we open this Power BI, you can able to see like where we can able to import the data, whether you can import the data from the SQL, or like you can able to import the data from the Excel, right? So you can on the above option you can able to see the import the sample data which are all available on this Microsoft Power BI. Okay, you can also import that, and you can also explore what are all the tools available in this DAX function. Okay, so let me just go for the measure again, and we can able to change this interval, right? So let me just delete this year, and we can able to go for the month wise, because we don't have enough data for this, because we have created a table for the year and for the month, right? So we can able to view this for the day or quarter. So I'm just going on for the month, and then let's click on enter here. Let's see what are all the data which are all available here. Okay, and here you can able to see, yeah. So for the March month, like yeah, sorry, like we have enter the number of interval as -2. Sorry, so sorry for that. I'm going on with this -1 because we don't want to view the 2 months previous data. I just want to view the 1 month of the previous data. So let's click on enter here again, and then here you can able to see for the 2020 February we have 989 $964, but we have the comparison data of the previous month of the same year, like 10/24 700, and we have our February data on the March comparison and our March data on our April. Like this will be like overlapping for all these features. And for this May data, we don't have enough data for this. For the 2022, we don't have any data on the April, right? So if we have any data on the April, it will be shown on the May comparison data. Okay, so yeah, if you can also go for this measure again, and you can go on play on with your own tables. Like you can able to change this number of interval as -3 or -4, or you can go for the future dates. Like if you remove this negative value, you can able to see the upcoming values. Let me just make this a positive, and then let me click on this. Okay, so here you can able to see for the January we have the February month total sales here, and for the February we have the March month total sales here. Okay, so this is how you can able to uh, view the data visualization based on the time intelligence function. So this will be, like I said before, this will be the very important functions. So these are all the advanced function which are all used by organizations. So if you guys know more about, if you guys want to know more about this, you can subscribe my channel, and I will put more advanced functions which are all available in this time intelligence. Okay, so thanks for watching, guys. That's all for this video, and for the next video we will explore more and more advanced time intelligence functions in which are all available in this DAX measure. Okay, so thank you guys, we will see next video. Until then, bye.